Kia ora. Charles here for another CEO update. Just fresh from Noosa, where we've had a sold-out conference. 15% of the attendees were Kiwis, and we had some fantastic feedback. We, of course, do now start the 12-month countdown to Gold Coast, where we'll have the World Employment Conference. So I really want to see a lot of Kiwis there, so put it in your diary if you haven't got it there already. It'll be kicking off on the 30th of October, running through to the 1st of November. Did Wellington, Christchurch, Auckland recently, had some fantastic leaders' lunches, and very much understand that immigration is one of the key issues, major concerns. So we're working with the government there, MB, to make sure that we get the right balance and not too much emotion when it comes to responding to some of the challenges, of course, of migrant workers, foreign workers, but also the opportunities that they bring as well. Had a great meeting with WorkSafe New Zealand and made sure they are very much aware of the amazing work that we do, made sure that there's again more balance there in terms of how they respond to some of the allegations around poor behaviour. Yeah, we want to get rid of the rogues and focus on them, but we also want to promote the professionals as well. We, of course, continued our discussions with MB in the development of our great recruitment and staffing service outcomes paper. That will be something that we will drive into our procurement working group as well. So we're very big on trying to establish some standards that we can use not only within MB and all of government, but all of the private sector in New Zealand, so that we can really establish what are the criteria for great service and what won't we put up with. More and more I'm seeing a lot of our members absolutely saying no to really poor procurement and tendering arrangements. So from my point of view, the more you say no to bad procurement, the stronger we will be and the more sustainable we'll be as well. We, of course, are going to continue with a major campaign in New Zealand. You'll soon get a letter which will invite you to make a contribution to our campaign to reclaim the narrative around staffing and recruitment in New Zealand and also in Australia. So when you receive that letter, don't just look the other way and think that somebody else is going to take up the responsibility for standing up for our fine industry. Really important that you take that on as well. Yesterday, I appeared before the Select Committee inquiry into the Triangular Employment Bill, and I'm happy to say that I think we did a really, really good job. We made it very clear to them that, of course, when it comes to the on-hire or temporary employment arrangements in New Zealand, it only represents 0.66% of the market. So we're not in a situation where we've got some out-of-control scenario. And despite the fact that some of the unions and some of the other Greens and other parties want to suggest that we are contributing to poverty and somehow responsible for a lack of affordable housing, I think the next thing we'll be responsible for is climate change and the Gaza Strip. So we made it really, really clear to them that they need to focus on the issue at hand and rely upon evidence, not rhetoric. And I think we got our message across. We feel very confident that we'll oppose any of the collective agreement provisions, and we made it very clear that there's already existing law that can deal with issues around poor behaviour by clients. You can use the ERA Act, you can use the certainly the Human Rights Act to actually deal with these issues. We don't need more law, more confusion. It's only going to confuse workers, and it'll actually, I think, have negative outcomes. So we're also going to see the brief landing on your tables very soon there in New Zealand, a fantastic cover story with Lane Beachley, the amazing multi-world champion, and look, ultimately, more and more stories from New Zealand and Australia that talk about how we lead in the world of work. So keep up your fantastic work and make sure you help us out with that campaign to reclaim the narrative, where we will be running reference groups. We will be developing a really sophisticated new age campaign because we're really proud of what you do, and we want to make sure that we can get that cut through, not only with politicians, but with clients, with candidates, and the general Kiwi public. So again, keep up the great work, and I'll see you over there very shortly. See you later.